Well, our next guest is so fed up with Congress's last-minute bill passing that he wants to hit him where it hurts, in the wallet. Democratic Congressman Jim Cooper of Tennessee is co-sponsoring the No Budget, No Pay Act, which would freeze lawmakers' paychecks if they don't pass budget bills on time. And he joins us now from Nashville. Congressman, welcome to the show. Tell us about...
Good to be with you, Charles.
Tell us about H.R. 3643.
It's a very simple bill. It's based on private sector principles. If you don't do the work, you don't get paid. Now, Congress is not used to that. Congress is used to missing most every deadline it's ever had. But these times are more serious than they've been before. We don't have the cushion. We don't have the leeway that we've had before. We saw our credit rating get hurt this summer due to congressional incompetence. So in order to curb that incompetence, we've got to hit them where it hurts. As you said, hit them in the pocketbook.
You have been banging in the fiscal responsibility drum for a very long time. I mean, you are considered a blue dog, fiscally conservative Democrat. What makes you think that, despite the fact that our debt is now 100% of GDP, that your colleagues are going to eventually listen to you now?
When we're at single digits in the polls, most congressmen want to get more popular, and I think they're going to be forced to accept a reform like this. In ordinary years, they'd not only not look at this, they'd laugh at it. But this year, in order to get out of the ditch, I think my colleagues are going to have to take this seriously, because the truth is that only the taxpayers have not been able to pay us on a performance basis. The special interests, on the other hand, have been paying us on that basis for a long, long time, through campaign contributions, through post-retirement job opportunities, and things like that. It's time the taxpayer is able to hit us where it hurts, which is the pocketbook.
Well, it sounds like, I mean, it almost sounds like you're saying that the Congress is not necessarily on the take, but certainly maybe more beholden to special interests than their constituents.
I think the special interests figured it out a long time ago. They know that if they like what you're doing, they can contribute a whole lot more money, and they can even offer you a job after you quit being a congressman. The taxpayer, on the other hand, is more limited in what he or she can do. They're only able to pay us so far a fixed salary, no matter how good or bad we are. And I think we need to move toward a pay-for-performance sort of approach for Congress, because we're clearly not getting good performance today. We've got to figure out a way how to improve congressional behavior, because Congress is actually a threat to the nation right now.
Representative Cooper, I looked at your website after this payroll tax cut debacle was finished, and you said you were happy that the House Republicans caved to the Senate Republicans. Your final line, though, was interesting. Now their job is to get the economy growing and start paying our bills. Would that suggest that this payroll tax cut, while it was full of drama, really isn't going to do much to help the economy?
Well, certainly a 2-month extension of a tax cut isn't going to do much. We need to have more stable policies than that. We also really need to look at the fundamentals, and really both parties are off base on this, because neither party really wants to pay the bills. During this Christmas season, everybody likes to act like Santa Claus, and sooner or later you got to pay those bills. And as you know, we're more in debt than we've ever been as a nation. We've got to get that right again, because we don't want to act like Europe.
On that note, are you now getting traction? Obviously, there's so many different things. We've got a presidential election coming up. I think it's hard all the time for you guys down there to get focused. But how can you get some more traction? How can you get some co-sponsors and really get this through? Because I got to tell you, in the midterm elections, the blue dog Democrats became something of an endangered species.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have tremendous bipartisan support for the bill already. It was introduced with Republican Senator Dean Heller of Nevada. We have the No Labels Coalition behind it. No Labels is a fascinating group. It's nationwide. It's in all 50 states. And these are folks who are sick and tired of the misbehavior of both political parties. They're not their own third party. They're trying to get both Democrats and Republicans to improve their behavior. So No Labels is a key supporter behind this. We have some 38 co-sponsors already. I think if the timing is right, you could see it work like the Stock Act. You know, that bill stops congressional insider trading. This, I think, could be as popular as that.
Right. Now, of course, there was that big 60 Minutes piece that kind of propelled that into the national conscience. Would it take something to propel this into the national conscience, like maybe the United States losing its AAA rating, really losing it across the board by all the ratings agencies? Would it take something dramatic, maybe to jar Washington into understanding just how dire this is and stop giving it just lip service?
Well, I think congressional behavior this week should prompt passage of this bill, because look how close we came to nearly hurting 160 million American workers with a payroll tax increase of 47%. We're about to cut all doctors in America 27%, and then take away everything pretty much from the unemployed. That's outrageous that we came that close to such a horrible policy outcome. There's no real reason for that. That's why you saw the Republican Civil War going on, the fight between McConnell and Boehner, the Senate minority leader and the Speaker. This was an amazing thing when McConnell finally came out yesterday and said, enough is enough. You House members have to learn how to behave. And he laid down the law to them.
He laid down the law, and I got to tell you something. Pay for performance is an idea whose time has come. I thank you personally as a citizen for fighting this good fight. Congressman Jim Cooper of Tennessee, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Charles.
Not just in